Today is a special day. We've got an amazing icon in the building, Detroit's very own. He's definitely been the soundtrack of my life because the first song that I ever remember hearing was Love Calls, and I knew that my mom was in a good mood when she was playing Love Calls, okay? So let me have the honor of introducing KEM to the building. How you doing?
I'm good, Lisha. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic because, again, I'm making my mama's dreams come true right now.
There you go.
She is so upset that she can't be here.
Well, we'll call her after. We'll call her after.
You're going to make her day. You're going to make her day. So how are you doing? Because you are killing it right now. Huge announcements, and you're about to have an amazing show here in Detroit soon. So how are you feeling?
I'm fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah, it's good to be in the deep, good to be at home. The place that I love with the people that I love, you know, it's good. It's good. Life is good.
So I'm a new Detroiter now.
Okay.
So what has been your favorite part about Detroit? Like when you come back or when you've been overseas or you've done a lot of press or touring, what's the one thing that you have to immediately do when you come back home?
I like the food, so that could be anything from greens, hamburgers in Farmington Hills to a Coney dog. And actually, I was thinking about Louisiana Creole after I leave here, or you know, and I like the hot dogs over at Home Depot too. Look,
come on now,
you can go to
Home Depot.
Pull up to the Home Depot, man. Look, I gotta, So the food, the people, the Midwest, you know, the hustle, the grind, the unpretentiousness, you know, of the people is laid back, you know, and so Detroit is always home.
I've definitely noticed the grind and the fact that they are not fully like jaded by any celebrities who come around. Like everybody's a celebrity in Detroit.
Yeah. Where are you from?
I'm from DC originally.
Oh, DC. We like DC. I love DC. WW. Well, I don't know if I should say the station in here. I'll probably get. Yeah, we love DC.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure I was about to say, hold on now. Am I going to say something wrong for saying
the DMV? Come on now.
Look, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's all love.
So obviously, I'm a huge fan of yours.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to dive into your music a little bit.
Yeah.
Before we talk about the extravaganza you're about to do for your birthday weekend.
Yeah.
First of all, happy upcoming birthday.
Thank you.
How are you feeling about your birthday coming up?
It's better to have one than not.
Correct, okay? So as you're going into this upcoming year and you've had so many albums and songs come out, I think that this is gonna be a very hard question, maybe not. What is the album that feels like you right now? Like that in your current state of life?
I'm rocking to the music that I'm creating right now.
Okay.
You know, we've got some really exciting things happening, you know, as you know, and I'm in a real creative space, so we're releasing new music on my label, Chemistry Records, and we're really excited about it. So I'm locked into you know, this season. I call this season the return to love.
Ooh.
You know, it's a return to love. It's a return to all of the things that make me want to do what I do and that have motivated me, you know, for all these music. The music has motivated me since I was a kid, you know. So I'm returning to that space creatively, and it feels really good.
Love in all of its facets.
All of its facets.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you already brought it up. We heard the amazing announcement that you are now officially bringing back Chemistry Records.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about this new venture? What are you looking forward to for the new revitalization of Chemistry Records?
It's amazing for me, and it's amazing for my fans. You know, the industry has undergone a sea change over the last 10, 15 years, and people are listening to music differently. You know, you got to fight for the attention of your listener. Radio has always been a great partner for me, and I'm happy about that. But we'll be able to put music out, you know, when I want to. If I got something hot, which I do right now, when I got something hot, I can put it out immediately. And there are so many vehicles to exploit your music, to put your music out into the world, from social media, content creators, licensing, sync, you know, so it's an exciting time, you know, and I'm really happy about it.
And I know that you've already kind of talked about how you've been doing this for a very long time, because I have a quote that even though you're signed, you're still independent. And I feel like people really needed to hear that. So I wanted to bring up that quote again. Because when you put out Chemistry, you put out 17,000 units independently. Am I correct?
Yes, yes.
So now you're bringing this into a whole new venture just for yourself, or are you going to open this up to other people potentially sometime in the near future?
Well, right now it's just the label is just a vehicle for me, you know, and we'll see what the future holds. You know, I think that you know, and yeah, when you're assigned to a label, you are an independent. There's nobody who's going to come into your, you know, to all the artists out there, aspiring artists. There's nobody who's going to come. You know, there are opportunities that will come, but ultimately you're always responsible for carrying the narrative of your career and your business. You're responsible for that,
right?
Because everybody is, you know, in all business, in all walks of life, everybody's trying to do what's best for them,
right?
You know, and there's a place for that. So you need to be mindful and cognizant of what's going on so that you can make the right moves for you.
So now that you are officially independent, and even though you've been doing this on your own for quite some time, what keeps you motivated in those moments where everything just feels like it's piling up? Because I can only imagine what you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis just as an artist. But now you also have more of the business side that you also have to decide on. So how do you keep focused and like motivated to keep pushing?
I've assembled a great team of industry professionals. You know, I don't claim to, you know, be doing it all by myself. I was talking to somebody earlier today. You know, we always talk about, when we're talking about our kids, we say that it takes a village, but for grown folks too, it takes a village, you know. So I don't operate alone. I'm surrounded by great people, and we just get it done.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I know that you already mentioned that music has saved your life. Music, and your specific music, has definitely touched people's lives. I mean, like I said earlier, when I knew my mom was in a good mood was when she was rotating KEM's albums like clockwork. Yeah. So how do you feel when people come up to you and they say that they've used your songs at weddings, or that your songs healed them in a really broken time? Like, how does that feel that your music has now become the soundtrack to people's lives? Like the Stevie Wonders and the Marvin Gaye's music made soundtrack to your life.
You know, that it's very humbling, and it is, you know, I look at what I do as, in a way, it's sort of like ministry. You know, this music, this message of love, and I talk about faith and redemption, all of those things that we're all in need of and looking for. Right. So people are getting married to the music. They're cleaning their house to the music. They're on road trips listening to the music. They're getting chemotherapy treatment listening to the music. You know, they're grieving the loss of a loved one listening to the music. You know, so it is really something that I don't take for granted to be, as you say so eloquently, the soundtrack, you know, to people's lives. It's a blessing.
Yes. There's definitely one song that I think hits even more today in 2025. Yeah. You performed it on your Tiny Desk Home performance, Friend Today.
Oh,
Incredible song.
Yeah. We need to do something with that record.
Yes, please. Yeah. Can we say it right now? Yes, please do it.
We need to do something with that record.
I think that song resonated with me so well because I listened to it first when I was in college, and I was going through trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life and how I can be a vessel to other people and how that looked like. And seeing that song, especially in 2020, was such a moving moment. But how do you feel like that song and any of your songs manage today? Like, how does that make you feel when you listen to Friend Today in 2025?
You know, the message in Friend Today is still relevant.
Right.
You know, it's more relevant now than it was then. I mean, these times that we're living in, with the divisiveness that is in the country, and you know, the political divide, the cultural divide. You know, ultimately we're all in this thing together. Right. And so I think that those messages are more. Those messages they're evergreen. You know, because we're always going to be up against the human condition, right? You know, so yeah, it's relevant. I'm glad you mentioned that song. Friend Today it's a good one.
That's definitely one of my favorite deep cuts. Yeah. Like, I love the hits and I love the singles. Yeah. But something about Friend Today with that sultry voice that we all know that we have the iconic baby. Yeah, I can't do it. I can't. I'm gonna let you do that. But when it comes to music, I've always wondered this too. A lot of times there's songs that don't make the record or songs that almost didn't but made it. Are there any songs that throughout your 22 years since Chemistry came out that almost didn't make the cut that people would have been like, whoa, what do you mean that almost didn't make the album?
Yeah, my first Grammy nomination was for a song called Why Would You Stay? And it almost didn't make the cut.
Wow.
It was on the shelf until a producer friend of mine, Rex Rideout, he heard it and convinced me to, to see it through. Yeah.
Well, shout out to the producer Rex because come on now, you wouldn't have that first Grammy, nah.
Yeah, there you go, right.
And I think that happens a lot in your life, like when things are about to change for you, there's always some like moment that sets into place. You mentioned that you did the part of Tina Turner in We Are the World at your high school. Well, at your high school graduation. You just didn't get a diploma.
Yes.
But then that unlocked the doors for so much more.
Yeah.
So in moments where you were, I guess, not really realizing what was up next for you, and then to see it, how you've transitioned and become this, in my eyes, legend in the world. How does it feel coming from, the streets of Pontiac, streets of Southfield? Like, how does it feel now walking these streets, knowing how much purpose you have changed into the world?
I think one of the challenging things about nurturing your dream and nurturing your passion is, you don't always have. You don't always there's not always a lot of evidence.
Mm-hmm.
There's not always a lot of evidence, and I'm talking to somebody right now. There's not always a lot of evidence. There are times when you will be where your dream, where it will be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times when you'll be by yourself. A lot of times when you will doubt. And I tell people, like, I always knew what I wanted to do.
Right.
But but there's doubt along the way.
Mm-hmm.
But there are all these little glimpses of these little God winks, these moments, like me singing Tina Turner's part in We Are the World. There are all these little winks that, like, this is for you, but there's preparation and there's work that needs to be done before it's there. So it's going to be quiet for a while.
Right.
I was making music in the 90s and I was signed to this independent label, and the label packed up and moved to Atlanta. And I was gonna pack up and move. I was gonna,
right.
That was my circle of cats, But I also had a daughter here, who had just been born. This was like 1995, and I thought that I had this plan in my head that I would go to Atlanta and I would come back every couple of weeks and like see my daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but ultimately, but deep down, like, I knew that wasn't going to happen, and I didn't follow my friends. Your dream will set you apart, and so and it was a quiet time. There was no music being written.
Right.
There was no, it was a long time before I had my own keyboard, and but the dream is still there. It's like it don't go nowhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? So to everybody who's nurturing something, who's holding on to something, you hold on to it. You hold on to it. The only way out is through. And if it's for you, it is for you. And just because you don't see the evidence doesn't mean that it's not there. Faith is the evidence of what's not seen. So there you go. Now I'm gonna ask the ushers to come forward.
Start paying for tithes and offerings. I appreciate that because you were definitely speaking to me. I appreciated everything that you just spoke about. But before we get into what you are here to talk about, the concert and everything. I want to play a little game. It's called Chemistry Match.
Oh, here we go.
It's a little this or that. It's just real quick. So, ballad or mid-tempo? What's better for you? Your personal favorite?
Both.
I love it. Marvin Gaye or Sam Cooke?
Marvin.
Candlelight or City Lights?
Candlelight.
Okay. Studio or stage?
Both. You can't have one without the other.
That is true. Write at night or write early morning?
At night. Well, actually, no. I write all the time. I mean, yeah. Now we got kids running all over the house, so I have to write. I have to get in when I fit in, so it doesn't matter.
That's true. That's true. A quick little game just to change pace. Yeah. But July 25th and 26th, to celebrate not only your birthday, but just to celebrate the fact that we are outside, you're going to be at the Aretha with a songstress herself, Shantae Moore.
Yeah.
What are we going to be expecting? What is going to be what you want people to leave from when they are there July 25th and 26th?
Well, we always have a good time down at the Aretha. It's probably, at the top of the list of venues that I like to perform at in the country, in the world actually. One, because it's at home. Two, because of the aesthetic of being on the waterfront. Mm-hmm. The boats come up behind the stage and it's just a vibe being there. But this year, and I'm usually towards the end of the Aretha's season of shows, but this year performing the week of my birthday. So we'll be in Detroit for the whole week, shooting content, videos for new music. I'm probably going to perform some of the new music.
I was just about to ask.
So it's gonna be a good time. Lots of family and friends, and it's gonna be a good time.
Well, I'm excited because this will be my third show of yours.
Yeah.
Because I saw you in Grand Rapids when you were with Music Soul Child.
Yeah.
And then my mom brought me to when you were at MGM in DC.
Okay.
And now I'm going to be able to see you at the Aretha. And this was my first time being at the Aretha, so I understand the aesthetics and also the fact that the crowd is just right there. So it feels like this is even more intimate, not only because it's at home, but you get to see the faces of people.
Yeah, you get to see all your cousins and
like a family
and friends.
reunion.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So you mentioned that you're going to be performing possibly new music.
Yeah.
Can you give us a little vibe of what it's going to sound like maybe?
It's gonna sound good.
Obviously, you ain't got no flops. What you mean? You ain't got no flops. Name a flop, please.
It's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited.
Thank you.
Everyone needs to go ahead and grab tickets right now. The Aretha Ticketmaster, July 25th, and thank God he gave us another date, July 26th.
Yeah.
Tickets are on sale as we speak, at least for the 26th on Thursday. And I just want to wrap this up because obviously we know you as Kim the artist, but I just want to get Kim the person. Just quick rapid fire questions to end off.
Okay.
What does your perfect day look like?
Brunch and sitting at the pool watching the kids swim.
I love that. A simple day. And I love that you said brunch first.
Yeah,
because we don't need to get up that early.
Yeah.
Okay, guilty pleasure show that you love.
Guilty pleasure show that I love. What did I just get finished watching? I just finished watching the series called Mobland, which is really, really, really good.
I've heard about Mobland. Okay, I need to tap in. Okay, if someone was playing you in a biopic, who are you thinking?
And Everybody Loves Raymond. Guilty pleasure, Everybody Loves Raymond.
Everybody Loves Raymond is a good one. Yeah.
I don't know why. My wife thinks I'm crazy. I'm like, why are you watching these people?
No, that's a good one,
why are you watching these white people? It's like, what is happening in here? Love Everybody Loves Raymond.
You already talked about this a little bit earlier, but go-to comfort food.
Well, the go-to is soul food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with soul food.
Soul food.
Well,
Yeah,
you can.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Well, it depends on who's
cooking it.
Who's making the
in
chitlins.
that kitchen. Exactly. Second to last question. If you weren't a musician, what would you be?
If I wasn't a musician, I would probably be I would be a comedian. I would be in finance, or I'd be a preacher.
A comedian, financial pastor. I know that's right.
Yeah.
Give it to us. And last but certainly not least, what is something that you are especially grateful for today?
Sobriety.
Mm-hmm. My mom has your book, and we were talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
Your story is incredible. And the
Yeah.
fact that you wanted to share that with the world, incredible. My mom was mad that I didn't bring the book today,
Yeah.
but it's okay.
It's okay. You have any books recent? Yeah, we got a book for her.
Oh, wow, look
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Kim.
So let me ask you a question. You put sugar in your grits?
Ooh, sugar in my grits?
Sugar in your grits? Sugar in your grits?
It's giving cheese only. It's giving cheese only.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Do you put sugar in your grits?
No, I
Oh,
don't.
okay. I needed the temperature check real quick.
Yeah.
Well,
Curtis does, though.
putting him on blast. Hey, you eat your grits the way that you want, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna eat my pot of grits.
If you like to see Curtis, Curtis lives at 10034. No, I'm just joking.
I'm obsessed. Well, thank you so much for your time, Kim. Again, he'll be at the Aretha July 25th and 26th. Do you have any last words for the Detroiters?
Detroit, I love you. Thank you for embracing me, for rocking with me all of these years. You know, I love you.
And we'll continue.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep.